The Gate 2 is a 1990 sequel to The Gate, a 1987 film about two kids who unknowingly open a gateway to hell. I talked a little bit about the first gate on my trailer commentary for the film, which you can find linked in the description below. Now, the first gate is a really interesting film. It's made for kids and follows a cast of kids, but it's executed in such a way that adults could watch the movie and enjoy it. It never directs itself toward one specific audience. That's the difference with The Gate 2. While the first film was rated PG, The Gate 2 is rated R and utilizes a much older cast and mature storyline. It deals with themes like alcoholism, depression, suicide, and lots of things that mostly teenagers could relate to, like being bullied at school. It also only has one returning character from the first film, Terry. In the original, Terry was a secondary character and best friend of the main character, Glenn. And we don't see too much about him in that movie besides his interest in demonology. And we also learn that his mother passed away and that his father isn't really home and his house and I guess his life is kind of neglected. All of these aspects get emphasized in the sequel, however, and it almost feels like a spin-off in that way. It's not like a direct continuation because we don't know what happened to Glenn or his family other than they moved away. And so it's more about Terry's story this time and what has happened to him. So now with Terry alone and desperate to cure his father's alcoholism, he decides to visit his old friend's house, which happens to be built atop the gateway to hell. And what better way to face your personal demons than summoning actual demons, right? So Terry begins this really creepy satanic ritual, and we're introduced to three other characters.
What the hell's this? It's a nice outfit, isn't it, Mo?
Oh, yeah, it's real sharp.
I wonder how it'd look on me.
I think you'd look like $1,000,000, John.
Two high school bullies named John and Mo, and Liz, who is John's girlfriend and Terry's crush. They join in on the ritual, which includes killing Terry's pet rat as a sacrifice.
You demons? You're dealing with John Thompson Starkey now. By the power of this dumb rat and all this other shit, let's see some action.
Anyways, before you know it, we get the coolest depiction of hell that I've ever seen. Slime starts dropping down the walls, and out pops this crazy little demon. John freaks out, shoots it, and then leaves with Mo and Liz. Meanwhile, Terry decides to bring the little minion home. It turns out that it wasn't really dead, however, and soon Terry decides to armor up with a hockey outfit. Right. And then the demon decides to viciously attack Terry with a pair of scissors. Right. Although I must admit the stop motion animation is pretty cool and one of the things I like about this film. He and Liz decide to use it to grant all of their wishes, and while all of this happens, the two begin to fall in love. John, however, jealous of the two, steals the minion.
Shut up! Shut up! I love it. He says shut up to the gremlin.
Oh, that's a minion, you dumb shit.
Minion, gremlin, as long as it burns Terrence's ass.
John, life is sweet.
Eventually, they make their way to a fancy restaurant after wishing for tons of money, but they realize soon that they're beginning to mutate into demons themselves. And I always thought that was cool. It was really different from the original film and gave us a deeper look at that universe's version of hell and some more original demon designs. Plus, the scene where Mo attempts paying for their food is downright hilarious. The now demonic versions of John and Mo kidnap Liz, and Terry gets transported to hell. Again, the coolest depiction I've ever seen, and he tries to save Liz. Unfortunately, he begins transforming and becomes tasked with sacrificing Liz to fully open the gate. He fights off his transformation, however, and uses a jewelry box that belonged to his mother to close the gate. The film ends with Terry dying, and as we see Liz and his father visit Terry's funeral, he comes out of the coffin, just like the ending to the original film where everyone who died comes back. He's followed by John and Mo, and there's even an after credits scene where the rat from the ritual survives. As a sequel to one of my all-time favorite films, I can't say it progressed the story the same way Aliens or Terminator 2 did, but it did manage to expand the mythology and universe while staying true to its characters and themes. The way I see it, the first film focused on childhood innocence, while the second film focuses more on the darkness of growing up and learning what it takes to be an adult. And I'm not sure what the deal is, whether or not Lionsgate owns the rights to this like they do with the original, but someone needs to put it on Blu-ray. I'd love to see it done with their new Vestron Video Collector's series, preferably with the original, but if the rights belong to MGM, like I've heard, then I'd want at least Scream Factory to release it. They've done sequels by themselves before, like Phantasm 2, so why not The Gate 2? Hopefully someday soon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see me talk about more horror movies, please share and subscribe.